One of the first stories I tell in the book is a story about my grandfather. My grandfather who said to me after I wrote a book on Romans, okay, so now that you've got Paul out of your system, how about writing a book on Jesus who got everything right rather than on Paul who mucked everything up? So the idea that Jesus and Paul are not necessarily compatible is not a new one, but I've found in recent conversations that this is a challenge for a lot of my Christian friends. They love Jesus, they love the stories of the Gospels, but when they approach Paul, they see letters that are hard to get into. They're not stories, for example. And so what I've wanted to do in this book is to take what is some of the best of recent Paul scholarship, which says, okay, Paul didn't write stories, but he's deeply committed to the story of Israel, and his letters reflect a Jesus who's bringing that story to its culmination. I wanted to take that scholarship and bring it into conversation with contemporary issues, and in doing so show how Jesus and Paul are very much on the same page. Both Jesus and Paul are committed to the God of Israel, the God who created the world good and who has relentlessly pursued the world despite its repeated rebellions against his overtures of love. The God who committed himself to Israel through covenants with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is the God, the Gospels tell us, this is the God who is at work in Jesus to bring the story of the cosmos to its culmination. And that is the same claim that Paul wants to make for Jesus. In Jesus Christ, God is at work to renew the world, to renew all things to himself, to bring that story of creation in Israel to its culmination, and to embrace us all within it. It's this narrative approach to Paul that I think has some unique traction for us today, not only in bringing Jesus and Paul together, but bringing them both into our contemporary context.